She signed a lease for her new spa as an independent esthetician, and she was so excited. But that first year was one of the hardest of her life. She ended up having to secretly borrow money from her husband to pay her bills. She would wake up at 4 a.m. worrying, crying, panicking about the future. Her mom, her husband, even her landlord were saying, "Hey, don't worry about it. Just close your business. You've already invested way too much money in it." And during that first year, she was trying everything to build her business, from working with influencers to referrals to even sending out mass messages inside of WhatsApp groups. It just wasn't going anywhere. So then Gordana found my program, the Ad Lab, and she tried her first ad campaign and it absolutely blew up and it totally changed her business. Today, I'm so excited to share my student Gordana's story. She is an esthetician living in Croatia, and she talks about the challenges in running her business the first year and then how everything changed when she did her first real ad campaign. We're talking about she invested $100 in an ad and she ended up making $6,000 plus from that ad campaign. And that was just the beginning. If you've been thinking about maybe making a change in your business and investing in yourself and learning how to do ad campaigns that attract your ideal clients, there's a link to join my course, the Ad Lab, below. But first, watch this interview with Gordana because I think it's going to resonate so much if you're in your first year as an esthetician and you're struggling to make it work. Do not give up hope. Things can change. Let's watch. Hey, Gordana, it's such a pleasure to be able to talk with you. Thank you for coming on and agreeing to be interviewed.
Hi. Well, thank you very much for this opportunity. And I feel beyond excited and honored of being here because you helped me so much. And I'm looking forward if I could help someone with my story.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, your business, and how you got into the beauty industry.
Well, I live in Zagreb, in capital of Croatia. I am 40 years old, and I'm an owner of aesthetic center, Silk Skin. I specialize in face treatments, neck and décolleté, and helping my clients with severe issues such as acne, rosacea, anti-aging, and skin health in general. And how I got in beauty industry, it was quite a story, actually. Mm, I finished the University of Economy. And when I had my kids, I had twin girls and a boy, very short apart. So I had a luxury to stay with them for a few years at home. But after those few years, I felt so out of touch with my initial career. I was really frustrated looking for a job, but I couldn't imagine myself working anything in my field. So one day, everything changed. I got hit by a car while walking my girls from home.
Oh my God.
Everything was fine, obviously, but this incident got me deeply reflect whether I was living my best life, whether I was content with my life, and I asked myself if I could do it all over, if I could choose what I would do, what would it be? And the answer was clear: it was beauty industry. The first job I came across in beauty industry, it will be mine, and from there I'll find my way. And it was just like that. Few days after, I found my first job in L'Occitane as a beauty advisor, and the rest is history. From there, I worked my way to my aesthetic center.
That is so cool. How long have you been in business for?
Well, I've been in business for about year and a half now. Yeah, yeah. Since I've
And
started building my aesthetic center and in beauty industry for a few years since my first job in L'Occitane. Yeah.
okay, so how did you decide that it was time to move on from that job and open your own studio?
Well, at my last job, I was working a lot of hours. I was working 6 days a week. I was traveling a lot. I've realized that if I want to do something else, I have to make a shift because economy degree will keep me in sales and marketing, and
Yeah.
it wasn't cutting for me. I wasn't satisfied with being told what to do, and it was so restrictive. Just yeah. And
Yeah.
then one friend of mine, she said, "Why wouldn't you open your own salon?" And at first, I was so reluctant because there was a lot of expectations from me, from my parents, from my husband, and from society, not society, but my community in general, because I finished university and it was a bit, in my mind, a bit more downgrading to being
Mm,
an esthetician.
right.
So it was a really hard step for me to take. But when she told me the story about one lady who finished uh, teaching university and succeeded in beauty business and now has university for estheticians, I thought, wow, if she could do it, if she could have been a teacher and now in the beauty business, why I wouldn't have, I can do it as well. So I
Yeah.
made that shift in my mind to start educating myself in being an esthetician, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, learning all the business aspects of it, which
Yes.
were very,
Yes.
I guess, came in handy for you and all the
Yeah.
marketing and all
Yeah.
the sales. You've got all those things in your back pocket that are
Yeah.
helping you on your new journey.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you signed a lease for like a small space. How did that work?
Well, I signed a lease for a small space, but due to our country's administration, it took me a year since I've signed a lease for a small space until uh, I had the first client. It
Oh,
was a
okay.
very difficult journey, and it was so financially draining for me because I
Mm,
was paying this space and I was paying the bills and everything, and I didn't have any revenue. But after that, when I started working, it was a whole other level of difficulties how to get ideal clients, how to get any clients into my
yeah.
space.
So
Yeah, yeah.
when you first signed your lease, you didn't have any clients at all.
No.
Okay. And so
Zero clients.
what was your plan for like making money, building a clientele?
Well, I had plenty ideas. Some were cringeworthy, actually, because some were creative, but some were desperate. I sent in my kids' school groups message like opening a center and
Hmm.
everything, hoping that someone will give my chance a center. But nobody replied to message. Nobody came. I even reached out to one of the moms that was very well connected in the community, asking her whether she will help me to build my clients list. She said yes,
Mm.
but I think she didn't quite understand what I was looking for. So she sent like quick DMs and put her story like about my salon opening, but it didn't work either. So I had collaborations with an influencers. My first collaboration was a disaster because I collaborated with one that heavily relied on discounts,
Mm.
and that brought me only price sensitive clients.
Right.
I would pour my heart and my energy into consultations, but they were not interested in staying and building a relationship. They were just interested for this one discounted service and
Right.
moved on. You're left with nothing,
Yeah.
actually. And then I collaborated with two more wonderful girls, but it didn't brought me new clients as well because it didn't resonate with their audience because they weren't my ideal audience.
Right.
So nothing worked. In moments of desperation, I even left the pamphlets in mailboxes around my neighborhood. Not even one came back. The only thing that worked was a referral of my close friend. She
Okay.
referred me a few people, but it wasn't nearly enough to get my business going. So I was pretty exhausted, scared. I felt defeated. It was horrible this first year, really horrible.
Yeah.
I had few clients from this collaboration with the first influencer. I had a few clients from my friend, a few clients that just came randomly from somewhere. But I was secretly borrowing all the time money from my husband's salary just to keep me going.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. So like what
Yeah.
was your how much were you spending every month, like on everything, including rent and bills and all that?
Yeah, I had an expenses around thousand and a half. thousand and a half without my salary. So
Yeah.
there's no question
Yeah,
about my
yeah, yeah,
salary.
for sure. And I think that that's normal, honestly. Like, I
Yeah.
think we need to normalize that, like, in the first few years of business, that most
Yeah.
people are not paying themselves and nobody really talks about it. So I guess that must have felt pretty not that great, knowing that you were having to take money from your husband to support your business and you're like,
Yeah, for some he knew, for some he didn't know, but he will know now. But I had to do. I had this feeling that I had to do what I had to do to
yeah.
succeed, and I knew if I just persisted, that will eventually something happen and something will turn.
Because you were like trying everything, like not like most people
Everything.
in their first year business don't work with influencers. Like you were sending like messages in WhatsApp groups, and probably that wasn't like the best move, but you were trying, like you were just trying all these different things.
Yeah, yeah,
So I mean, good on you for just being consistent and not giving up and just trying
yeah.
everything. And then you found the ad lab, and then everything started changing for you, which is why we're talking today. How did you find out about the ad lab?
Well, I discovered you on YouTube, your YouTube channel, totally by accident. I don't even remember what I was searching for, but there you were. And I watched one of your videos. And before I knew it, I was hooked. I was binge watching all of your videos, rewinding it, taking notes. I was so motivated. And in one of your videos, you were promoting your ad lab, and then and there I had this visceral feeling that that's it, that's the thing for me that will change everything for me. But the timing was really bad. It was when I've invested all my money in launching a business. I didn't have nothing on my own, and I had to consult my husband to do this one more investment. And he really wasn't on board. He told me, come on, there's plenty of resources on the internet, you will figure it out by yourself. um, and I was reluctant, but I had to let it go because I've pushed him so far to invest everything in my business. So I said, okay, I came so far, I'll figure it out. But then this hard year came: financial hardship, mental hardship, feeling defeated, and all the struggles that I've encountered so far that we talked about.
And then what made you finally decide to be like, no, like I need to learn Facebook and Instagram ads?
Well, it was a year, almost a year later, you were relaunching your ad lab, and you announced that you will release your first module. And I was on the coastline, like dripping from the sea. I just came to the apartment, but my Wi-Fi was so bad. And when you announced that you will release your first module, I ran into car with my laptop because I had this bad Wi-Fi. I drove to other city,
Oh
and
my
it was a
gosh.
public holiday. And I sat in the parking lot of one big store, and I was glued to the video. And when you released that first module, and when I confirmed the things I knew from the year before, that that was the thing. I was so determined to fight for it really hard this year, although it was financial stretch even worse than the year before.
Mhm.
And I came to my husband and I cried. I fought for it really, and I was so determined to convince him. So I did convince him, and I purchased Ad Lab, and from then on, it's completely different story. My business has changed. My life has changed. Really, it's a completely different story.
I'm
Yeah,
so happy to hear that, Gordana,
yeah,
because
yeah,
like, when we are so like even geographically removed, like live in different countries and everything's
yeah,
online, like, I'll send out an email to my community and it feels a little bit removed, right? Like it
yeah,
feels like, okay, I'm just typing an email and sending it out. But then you don't realize that like when someone receives that and they're in the right like mind space to receive it
yeah,
and they're at the right time in their business and life and like things just kind of match up. So
yeah,
what happened next? So I guess your husband agreed to it.
yeah, yeah.
You put you paid for the course
Yeah.
with your credit
Yeah.
card
Yeah.
and you dove in, right? Like you're like,
Yeah.
okay, I gotta learn ads. Because that
Yeah.
was something that you hadn't tried before. You tried a lot of
Yes.
things, but you'd never like spent money on ads before to
Yeah.
promote yourself.
I actually did. When I saw you first time, I tried to make an ad, but it was a complete flop. So
Mm,
I didn't mention that, but I even tried it, but I didn't know how to do it. It was I when I saw that I'm spending 50 euros, I like, okay, no, this is not working. I'm not going to
right.
do it.
And what do
Yeah.
you think, like knowing what you know now, why do you think that that first ad didn't work?
uh, I didn't have knowledge and right skill set and right strategy to get in front of my ideal customer. It's simple as that.
Right.
With an ad lab, I've gained complete structure and understanding how to get in head actually of my ideal customer and
Yeah.
place myself strategically in front of them to catch their attention.
Okay, so you jumped in, and I'm guessing that you like been knowing what I know about you, you probably binged the course and you're like, I gotta get this ad out right away because this course has to pay for itself pretty much.
That was it, and I was lucky before because my husband stayed with the kids on vacation, and I came back home. And I was lucky as well because I had these two girls influencers. They were wonderful, and I had more content with them
Oh,
for
great.
the ads. When I filmed that, when I edit everything, it took me about a week to set up the first ad. It was
Hmm.
quite time consuming. But when it was my first ad was actually spectacular because I followed your advice to the T. I've done everything right as you laid. And it was great, really.
Were you advertising facials?
Yes, I was advertising. I have actually really narrow offer because I do bioregenerative treatments and it's my focus. So I do microneedling, chemical peels, medical facial cleansing, and two more anti-aging treatments. So very narrow. And I had to come up with something that everyone should recognize themselves in it. So I've offered medical facial cleansing combined with this one carbon peel. But I think the not most important thing wasn't that what I've advertised, but the thing that that my clients recognize themselves in an ad and realize that I can help them with their issues with wherever I'm advertising. I think
Right.
that was the
What did you say or what did you show in your ad that made people be able to like see themselves of like, oh, I totally need this. Like, this is exactly for me.
yeah. I targeted my because my ideal audience. It's also I am my ideal audience.
Hmm.
So women between 30 and 55 who want to invest in themselves, who like to invest in themselves, who don't have time, who are not satisfied with the reflection in the mirror, who want to uh, hear, oh wow, you look great.
Hmm.
They don't feel tired, and so I targeted them with a few statements like that. And in
Yeah.
my ad I've showed really relaxed treatment with the steam, with the mask, with the massage and everything. So everything combined, it was attractive. I even used one of the templates in our group in
Yeah.
Instagram, so it was much easier. And the visual thing and the written thing just attract them.
I'm glad you brought that up because I think that a lot of people, like when they're trying to advertise something, they're so caught up in like, oh my gosh, I need to sell this. So
Mm,
the focus of the ad is usually when people do their first ad, like it's usually about the service. Like, this is what
mhm,
I'm advertising. This is how much it costs. This is what's included, all of that. But
mm.
really, the secret
Yeah.
to really great ads is taking yourself out of what you want to promote and putting yourself into like what those clients want, understanding like what those hidden desires are, what those like internal thoughts are that
Yeah.
prevent them from reaching their goals, like all of that. Okay, so tell us what happened with that first ad that you did.
Well, it was spectacular. Although I had only €100 to invest, and I ran my ads only for 10 days, I've gained 8 leads. And from those 8 leads, I booked 3 clients. With one client, I didn't continue due to her health issues, but I got a 5-star review from her, so it
Mm-hmm.
meant a lot. She was very satisfied. And with the other 2 clients, when they came to me, when we've done consultation, we booked completely different services that I was advertising.
Right.
The important thing is to get your clients in your salon, and when you see their face, when you see their skin, you can make personal recommendations. So
Yeah.
with those 2 clients, they booked €1,000 services, like a huge package, the biggest package I have.
Yeah.
And we've worked on it entire autumn and winter, and since then they rebooked the same service.
So they both immediately like spent €1,000, so two
Yeah,
thousand euros, and
yeah,
then after that expired, after they
yeah,
finished that, then they
yeah,
booked it again, so
yes,
another like €2,000. So
yeah,
that
yeah,
€100 investment ended up into €4,000 for
yeah,
you, which is
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
And then you said that they also bought retail products.
And they brought me, one of the clients brought me her daughter to treatments. The other clients brought her sister-in-law and booked additional services. They didn't the weren't included in the package. So yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome. So let's say like the €100 investment probably ended up in €6,000 or more for you,
yeah,
maybe even
yeah,
€8,000, which is
yeah, yeah,
amazing.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
it's not just the ads, right? It's
yeah,
also that you knew how to treat them when they came in. I think that your issue was that you weren't able to get in front of the right people. Your
yeah,
issue was not the second half. You knew how to
yeah,
treat them, how to talk to them, how to give them amazing experience, how to consult with
yeah,
them. Your issue was just, I just need people to come in. So this was 2 clients that came in and
yeah,
they referred you a few more clients.
yeah, yeah.
What does your business look like now? I'm guessing you need more than just 4 clients to
Yeah.
keep a profitable business.
Yeah, yeah. I ran more ads, of course. Some of them were more successful. Some of them were least successful. But since my first ad, I was a little bit experimenting, I have to admit.
Yeah.
And but what each ad brought me at least 5 times return on investment. At least, I
Yeah.
don't know exact numbers from each ad.
Mm-hmm.
I ran them maybe 5 so far,
Mm-hmm.
but each of them I had a return on investment. I always invest €100 and see what will happen from there. And
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
So you've
yeah,
invested, let's say, 500 or 600 euros in ads so far.
yeah, yeah. But it brought me, for example, even the clients that didn't booked right away, they followed me on Instagram
Mm-hmm.
and they booked with me later once they consumed a little bit more about my content and gain a little bit more trust. So
Yeah.
one client even told me, I was seeing you on the internet. I really want to book with you, and she's so far away. Another part of the city. I have so much confidence in you. I will book with you. I have to book with you because she saw the ad. Even
That
from other cities, I don't know how it ended up. I narrowed my targeting, but they saw it in other cities, so they come from other cities as well. Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
think that like special thing is that they decided to choose you as opposed to someone who's closer?
Well, I'm not really sure what they exactly see in their ads. I believe it's my description, and when they recognize themselves in my ad, they think I get it, and so they come because they feel understood and seen. When they come to me, then I gain their trust through the consultation. When they see I know what I'm doing, when I set with them the right expectations, when they get results, there's the whole nother level. But the first of all, I think they feel seen and heard in my
Yeah.
description, so they decide to come.
Yeah. So, what does your business look like today? Do you feel like you're busy enough that you've got enough clients and revenue coming in?
Yes, it's I have peace of mind now, really. I have returning clients, I have steady revenue. Now I'm building my revenue so I can peacefully wait for the summer,
Mhm.
because summer in Croatia, probably everywhere, is a very slow season.
Yeah.
All the people go on vacation on a
Hmm.
coastline. So I'm building now so I can feel safe and pay myself and pay my bills during the summer and not feel worried or panicky. And next week I will make one proper ad to fill my client list for the summer, because I've finished with many of my clients that we worked during the winter. By having so steady income and by being able to pay myself, I'm able to invest in my education further
Hmm.
and further my knowledge. So I brought some new treatments that can be done during the summer, not only microneedling and everything, but it was everything thanks to running ads.
So, if you compare like where you were last summer to where you think you're going to be this summer, like mindset wise, like how were you feeling last summer versus like how do you feel going now into like the spring and summer? Like, who is that Gordana of 12 months ago versus now?
Oh my God. It's so different. Last summer, I was so worried. I was waking up 4, 5 a.m., couldn't sleep. I cried. I felt so anxious. I didn't see the way out, actually. I felt defeated. My mom, she wanted to be supportive, but she said, if it's not going, you just close it and move on. But it wasn't helping. She hoped that it's helping, but it wasn't helping. My husband was on the fence. He kept asking me, "Are you earning any money? Are you earning any money?" It was horrible. I didn't have a peaceful summer, and now I'm planning to take 3 weeks holiday to take my kids to Greece on a road trip. I feel safe, and I feel that I have safety net with an ads, because I can turn them on whenever I need them, and it's two complete lives. Like there was some other Gordana, and there's the one me here.
Was there anything standing in your way mentally before you press publish on your ads? Like, was there anything that you were worried
Mhm.
about that you kind of had made you hesitate before pressing the publish button on your ad?
Actually, no. Actually, no, because I was so confident in the whole process. And I had, because I watched so much of your YouTube videos. And when I invested in an ad lab, I was so confident that it will work, that I had no hesitation. I was so sure of that I've done everything right as you laid out in the ad lab, and it's so simple. The meta that is like usually a nightmare. So user unfriendly platform. You laid it so perfectly easy. It was easy breezy setting up ads, and I had so much trust in you that I had, when I've done the work, when I set the ads, I couldn't wait to press publish. Actually,
Amazing. I'm
yeah,
so,
yeah.
so, so happy for you, Gordana. Like,
Thank
you've
you,
done
thank you.
just a fabulous job. And you are now that, like, you're thriving and like growing your business, you're
Yeah.
moving into education yourself, right?
Yes, yes. Actually, as I have this steady income and returning clients, I've had so much more time and energy, and I've been inspired by you to help other estheticians to grow their businesses, because I've noticed that there's a big knowledge gap in the industry. During my consultations with the new clients, they were coming from other estheticians and other centers. So I've noticed that there's a opportunity to elevate
Mhm.
industry as a whole. It's something like you do. You educate your clients how to get in front of their ideal clients, And my part would be to educate them how to gain their clients' trust
Right.
by their expertise in various skin issues and elevating their consultation skills, sales skills, so they can book their clients, they can provide exceptional service, and to keep those high paying clients. So it's actually really rewarding to be able to think about serving in the industry on a higher level than just my business. It would
Much
be
to
possible
share.
without running ads.
Okay, so we're going to link to your Instagram below if anyone wants to follow Gordana. You teach in English?
Yes, yes. I have one Instagram profile for my Silk Skin Aesthetic Center, and I speak there in Croatia
Mhm.
for my clients and my potential clients, like women.
Yeah.
But I have created another Instagram account for other estheticians where I speak in English, various tips, tricks, and yeah.
Amazing. Okay, guys, check out Gordana. Like, you've seen what she's been able to do. So wherever you're at in your career, if you feel like you could use some help and some up leveling to figure out, okay, what do I do once people are sitting in my chair? How do I give them the best experience of their lives, keep them loyal, give them the results that they want? Check out Gordana. She's going to be so helpful. Gordana, thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
coming on. I am thrilled that you have shared all your knowledge with us
Yeah.
and that you did so many great things with your ads.
Thank you, Stephanie, for having me. And I will be eternally grateful because you've made an ad lab and because you've put yourself out there and because you've changed lives. I hope that you wake up with this knowledge every day, that you
Thank
actually
you.
change lives. So thank you. Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you. It
Yeah.
really, really means a lot to hear you say that because, like I said,
Yeah.
sometimes we're so removed, but like talking to someone like you who has
Yeah.
a real business that's working because you did so well with your ads, because you
Yeah.
invested and learned, it just makes me so happy. So, again, thank you
Yeah.
so much. And I'll chat with you soon.